Growing up, I played a multitude of games, everything from Mario and Super Smash Bros. To Call of Duty and Just Cause 3. And may I say how underappreciated this game of absolute chaos is. But hey, I'm not here to talk about that game, though I will gladly make a video on it if someone asks down in the comments below. See, even though I was into all these different genres, I never really got into the RPG games. So when Elden Ring was announced, honestly, I didn't care. I did not care at all. Then one day back in like 2023, I was scrolling on TikTok, right? And I saw a video by one creator who was playing a modded version of the game. Well, at the time, I knew it was modded. But my thought process was like, well, if the mods for the game look this good, then the base game itself has to be something special. And boy, oh boy, was I right. When you first start the game, you wake up in this weird chapel looking place and you make your way across the bridge to face your first boss. If you're anything like me, you get absolutely rocked right away. But hey, it's alright. Cause you wake up in this little underground cave place, right? And then the game gives you two options. One, either go deeper and try to do the tutorial, or two, go up and exit the cave. Now me personally, as I was new to the Soulsborne games, I ain't gonna lie, I did that tutorial. You see, I'm playing through, right? And I get to the hardest boss ever. The soldier of a god named Rick. Now I'm just playing, you only had like 300 health. But best believe, bro, when he walked up to me the first time, I was shivering in my boots. Now eventually you finish the tutorial and you make your way out of the cave. Now before you see it outside, there's one singular door holding you back. You lift it up and oh my gosh, is it beautiful. The starting area of Limgrave presents itself as being so simple yet so complex. You're able to see enemies and castles and a whole lake all in just one frame. See, I didn't even know it yet, but at that moment I was able to see the ending area of the game. See that big old tree right there? Yeah, that one right there. It holds the game's final boss fight. The original appeal of this game for me was how it doesn't really tell you what to do or where to go. See, in the game, there are these little checkpoints called Sites of Grace, and when you rest at them, you can level up your character, customize the physics, and more. It also resets whatever you triggered in the world, which means that like if you attack an enemy, right, then you rest at that Site of Grace, that enemy will have full HP when you come back to it. So after you rest at that Site of Grace, there's going to be this golden mist that appears, and that golden mist is going to guide you to the next site. Also, this dude here going to tell me I got no maidens.
You are maidenless.
It's kind of rude, but it's whatever. See, going into the game, I knew it's going to be difficult, but if I'm being completely 100% honest, my ego was through the roof. But that first boss you encounter in the open world, that one, he beat me over and over and over again before I finally realized I don't gotta fight him. And that boss alone sets a tone for the whole game in terms of what to expect from the difficulty. Well, eventually you find another Site of Grace, and when you rest at that one, you trigger a cutscene, right? And I'm not gonna lie, they cooked with it. Like, they cooked. So you meet this lady and she says she'll help you out. Then she gives you a nice little whip, just a horse. And you use that same horse right through the area next to you, and you get ambushed by soldiers, trolls, spears, everything. And I loved every single second of it. Just the adrenaline pumping through you, and all you know is that you have to get past this area right now without knowing what's on the other side waiting for you. Well, you make it through that area, up a mountain and through a tunnel to meet your first story boss, Margit the Fell Omen. And yes, I'm not gonna lie, I recite his dialogue word for word, bar for bar whenever I start a new playthrough. Oh, this game's voice acting is so peak. But you fight him and guess what happens next? That's right, death. Over and over again. But hey, that's the beauty of it all. You're able to go back into the world and get some more runes, better weapons, armor, sorceries, incantations in order to become stronger and to fight the boss again. And hopefully you win this time. By the way, runes are what enemies drop when you defeat them, and you use them to purchase gear as well as level up your character. But speaking of your build, that's what makes this game a true RPG. Cause you can customize how you want to play for real. You can be a swordsman, you can use heavy weapons, you can use magic, you can even use your bare fists if you want to. Because it's your game and you have the ability to play how you want to. Now me personally, I use a dexterity focused build with the bleed weapon and it absolutely shredded enemies. Now there are the people who take the easy way out. You know who you are. But this customizability is another thing that made me fall in love with this whole RPG formula. And the game doesn't necessarily force you to play a certain way, and I honestly love that so much. And for this reason, you technically control your own difficulty for real. Oh, and by the way, let me know down below what type of builds you guys use. When you play through the game, the story unravels itself pretty well, but you won't get the full experience unless you talk to everyone and read different items. And normally I wouldn't like that in the game, but once I started to look at it as the type of game it is, I grew to enjoy it. And honestly, nothing beats going through a dungeon and finding an item that has a much bigger role in the lore than you initially thought. Look, I'm sure who's ever played the game before understand how deep the lore goes, and I don't go into full detail, but it's basically like this. There was the shattering of the Elden Ring, which split into great runes, right? And they were then claimed by Queen America's demigod offspring, triggering a brutal, destructive war known as the Shattering. And this conflict left the lands between in absolute ruin, and it led to the Greater Will abandoning the land, but it also allowed the lost guidance of grace to return, calling us, the Tarnished, to mend the ring and become the next Elden Lord. And if that's not a good lord to you, then I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what it is, cause that's fire. Also, there's one fight later in the game where you fight this guy by the name of Malekith, and he holds the Rune of Death within his blade. And the Rune of Death is the source of all true death and was originally removed from the Elden Ring to make the demigods immortal. And basically, if the blade were to touch you, you would die instantly without the chance of being reborn. This is referred to as absolute death. And in the lore of our character, the Tarnished, we don't get hit by him once, which is very cool to me. And this game also offers multiple endings, and you get these endings depending on what choices you made in the game. So if you follow the game normally and don't do anything extra, you will typically receive the default ending. But if you go to the deep, dark depths of the city and allow yourself to be consumed by the frenzied flame, you will receive the frenzied flame ending. There's also an ending for people who truly get no maidens, and you know exactly who you are. But that overall choice in the game is yet another thing that makes me love the RPGs, and I love to see developers do that, honestly. The world is pretty big, but not as big as you might think. So there's Limgrave, Leonir of the Lakes, Caelid, Altus Plateau, Mountaintops of the Giants, and more. And while yes, it does sound like a lot, it's put together in such a way that the map isn't too huge. And in doing this, the game really succeeds with its environmental storytelling. And this is especially true in the Mountaintops of the Giants, because you are physically able to see with your eyes the remnants of war and how the giants were affected and left to die. Honestly, for what the game is trying to be, the size is just right. Each area offers their own bosses and little areas to discover, and that's another thing I found in common with a lot of open world RPGs, just the ability to explore and find so much just by being curious. Elden Ring is one of those games that I really do truly enjoy so much, and I would 100% recommend that everyone plays it. Like, really opened my eyes to the world of RPG games and what to expect from them, and it's even made me play games like Cyberpunk and The Elder Scrolls. Alright man, that's it for today. Hope you all enjoyed. If you made it this far, comment the word ISOSCELES. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.